Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia with Explain America, and Donald Trump has just set the case in New York on fire. Letitia James, she's pulling her hair out of her head after this one. He's totally shocked the court. Before we get started, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Particularly the liking and sharing really helps the channel out, and it helps us to keep these videos free and coming to you every single day. So please do that. So former President Donald Trump talked to reporters about his fraud case, his corporate fraud case in New York. And basically what happened in this case is it was determined that the Trump organization overvalued its assets. I mean, it's very in the weeds kind of case because, as Trump said to the reporters, the people who were getting the evaluations or the valuations of the buildings were told to do their due diligence and that these were only estimates. But the case Letitia James has brought says that they were grossly overvalued. And I mean, some of the things that the court was putting values on, like 18 million for Mar-a-Lago, is insane for a piece of property like that. No way would that be only $18 million, in my opinion. And I don't know how the court arrives at that number, but the case here with the smiling judge, remember the judge smiling, mugging for the camera in the total circus atmosphere of that court case, how ridiculous it's been. You guys remember that? Well, here's the thing. Trump was talking to reporters after the trial on Tuesday, and they asked him, your name appears on the witness list. Are you going to testify? And Trump said, yes, absolutely. He will testify in this case when the time is right. You will see Trump on the witness stand testifying. That, folks, is going to be, first of all, fantastic, highly rated television. Who's not going to tune in to see that? But also, I think Trump is his best advocate here. He's the one that can get up there and explain this is why the valuations were what they were. Who's going to know better than him? I think if he doesn't take the stand, then the jury looks at that and says, well, why? Why aren't you testifying? Of course, a lot of times, if in a criminal case, I would advise the defendant, don't testify. Because you know how prosecutors are and how they're going to try and trip you up and make you sound guilty, even if you're not guilty. And that's what they do. That's what they're paid to do. Anybody who's even watched any kind of court television show or movie, even my cousin Vinny, would know that's what prosecutors try to do. You try to make that person look as guilty as possible, even if they're not guilty. Of course, you don't know they're not guilty, especially if you believe they're guilty. You're going to do your best to try and take that reasonable doubt out of the jury's mind. And this case doesn't require that, but it does require witness testimony, and they're going to have, of course, a lot of expert witnesses that are going to testify to the valuation of the Trump Organization properties, which I believe will be assessed a lot higher than what this judge assessed it at. I don't know what qualifications he has to assess the value of properties, actually. But be that as it may, Trump will testify, and Letitia James cannot be happy about that. And by the way, did you guys see her mugging for the camera? With the mean face on, looking all like a campaign ad. And why not? It was the culmination of all her campaign ads, wasn't it? I mean, she sat there during a campaign and said she's going to go after Trump, not knowing any facts of any cases. Promised the voters, if you elect me, I'll go after Trump. Can you imagine that? How this case was not thrown out on day one for that reason alone is unbelievable. I can't imagine a scenario where this is allowed, where you run on the premise of getting somebody, and then you follow through on that promise before you know any facts, which means you picked somebody, and you said, I'm going to find a crime on this person. That's what you did. That's not how American justice works. How Russian justice works. It's how Chinese justice works. But it's not how American justice works. At least, it didn't used to be how it worked, and it isn't supposed to be how it works. Guys, I want your comments on this story. Let me know what you think. Is Trump making the right move here by testifying? Or would you advise him not to testify? Do you think this case is complete and utter nonsense or not? Let me know in the comments. Also, as I said, it really helps us when you guys like and share, so please do that. Also, please make sure you comment, like I said, because I want to read them, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm Carmine Sabia. This is Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.